Fox 13 News Midday starts now with breaking news.
Breaking news on Fox 13 News Midday. WNBA star Brittney Griner has been found guilty for smuggling drugs into Russia. Up next on Fox 13 News Midday, how much time she will face in prison, along with reaction from President Biden. And it's the first day of school for many districts in northern Mississippi. How local law enforcement agencies are easing the minds of students, parents, and even teachers, helping them get to school on time. But first, Election Day is underway all across Tennessee. Shelby County residents are making their voices heard in multiple highly watched races in a referendum, some that could change the future of politics in the city of Memphis. Good morning, it's August 24th, 2022, and thanks for being here for Fox 13 News Midday. I'm Noah Sershin in for Tony Sloan. Now, polls are open all across Tennessee and will close tonight at 7. There are a number of key races up on the ballot today. Fox 13 News wants to help ease the mind of voters if you still haven't casted your ballot. Fox 13 Sheila O'Connor is at Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church, one of the many polling locations in Shelby County, with a breakdown of today's key races.
Stream of people here at Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church. Of course, there's several key races that we are keeping our eye on for today's primary election. You've got the election for Shelby County District Attorney. You've got incumbent Amy Wyrick going up against Steve Mulroy. And then you've also got the race for Shelby County Mayor. You've got the incumbent Lee Harris going up against Worth Morgan. So you've got those key races going on that we're keeping an eye on. We're also keeping an eye on the Democratic race for governor. Whoever wins that will go up against Governor Bill Lee in the general election in November. There's 3 candidates for that. You've got Carnita Atwater and J.B. Smiley Jr. of Memphis, and then you've got Jason Martin from Nashville. So whoever wins that will, again, face off against Governor Bill Lee in November. There's also a referendum at the very bottom of the ballot about term limits. This would be for leaders here in the city of Memphis, like city mayor and Memphis city council members. What that is currently their term is 2 4-year terms. So you're voting on a referendum that could potentially extend it to a 3rd term. So there's the possibility that they could be in office for about 12 years. That's a referendum that you'll be looking at. So make sure you have time to get to the polls and you're reading through the ballots. When I looked at the sample ballot, that referendum was at the very bottom. So just take your time, fill everything out thoroughly, read everything thoroughly before you cast your ballot. Reporting here at Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church, Sheila O'Connor, Fox 13 News.
Thanks, Sheila. Stay with Fox 13 News for continuing election 2022 coverage. Now, on our website, you can get live election results as they pour in. That's on our website, fox13memphis.com. Also, we'll send election results straight to your phone on the Fox 13 News mobile app. You can also receive text and email alerts as well. Fox 13 News live election coverage on air will begin tonight at 9. Well, if you haven't casted your ballot, you might have to dodge some rain showers this afternoon when you make your voice heard. Fox 13 meteorologist Elizabeth D'Amore is live in Severe Weather Center 13 with the first check of our forecast. And Elizabeth, is some of our viewing area already receiving any rain yet?
Yeah, we are tracking some showers coming into the Mid-South. You can see they are moving to the south. We've got light to moderate downpours for some, but not everyone. Looking at that rain as we head into the lunch hour, actually seeing some of this rain fall apart as it moves to the south. So here in Shelby County, we're actually mostly dry. We were expecting to see a little bit more rain at this lunch hour, but as it's moved to the south, it's just really falling apart. Doesn't mean we're not going to see any rain as we get into the afternoon time. It's just going to continue to dwindle that coverage of rain. So from Truman down to Cherry Valley and Wynn, seeing again some pockets of heavier downpours. Not looking at any lightning here, and thankfully no severe weather. But because of the rain and the clouds, for some we are looking at 70s. For others, not seeing the rainfall, you're looking at low 80s. So quite a difference from where you're seeing some wet conditions. Next couple of hours, if you're trying to get out to do some voting, we're going to be in the mid to upper 80s. So yeah, a bit cooler than where we've been. Rain chances again lingering through the afternoon, but getting even lower as we head towards that 4 o'clock hour in the evening commute. We'll talk details though on what you can expect for the remainder of the week and the weekend ahead coming up.
Thanks, Elizabeth. And we're following breaking news out of Russia, where WNBA basketball star Brittney Griner has been found guilty on drug smuggling and possession charges. Now, you may remember earlier this year in February, Griner was detained at a Moscow airport after security officials there found less than 1 gram of cannabis oil in her luggage from a vape cartridge. This morning, the judge there in Russia sentenced her to 9 years in a Russian prison. Her trial lasted about a month. There is hope for the basketball star, however. There have been talks of a prisoner swap to bring Griner back to the United States. Now new this morning, President Biden reacted to the verdict, calling it, quote, unacceptable. In a statement, he said, quote, my administration will continue to work tirelessly and pursue every possible avenue to bring Brittney and Paul Whelan home safely as soon as possible. And now to our back-to-school coverage. Today was the first day of classes for students in DeSoto County, Mississippi. Hopefully by now, students are getting acclimated in their classes. Now look, we all know that the first couple of days of the school year can really be a mess. Dropping off your child seems like a nightmare, with lines stretching far away from the school just to drop off and pick up your child. Fox 13's Mississippi reporter Tom Dees has been at DeSoto Central Middle School all morning, and he's live there right now. So Tom, when do officials say that the traffic will wind down?
The police and Superintendent Corey Esselton telling me that traffic should ease up after the first couple of days of school. Folks are just trying to get back into their routines.
We just ask for everybody to be patient the first couple of days with new bus routes and parents learning the car rider lines on different campuses. A lot of times there may be a little confusion, and it may take a little extra time in the mornings and afternoons with bus riders coming on campus and leaving campus. So we just ask for everyone's patience while we're getting a routine.
Now, I'm told that DeSoto County SO, South Haven PD, a lot of your local police going to be out there in those school zones over the next couple of days, making sure that the teachers, the students, and everybody else gets through that area safely, because folks are just trying to get back to used to dealing with that traffic. Reporting in South Haven, I'm Tom Dees for Fox 13.
All right, Fox 13's Tom Dees reporting live from DeSoto County, Mississippi. And DeSoto County isn't the only county in Mississippi where classes start today. Coahoma County, Holly Springs, Senatobia Municipal, and Tunica County all began this morning. Most districts will start next Monday. Fox 13 is your official back-to-school station, and we know that you have questions for the upcoming school year. To help answer some of those questions, we have put a resource guide on our website. All you have to do is go to our website, fox13memphis.com, click on the Back to School tab, and there you will find a resource guide. New at midday, the Memphis Fire Department is investigating an arson at an apartment complex in Memphis. It happened yesterday around 2:45 on Piedmont. That fire started on the patio of a first-floor unit and then spread to about 5 more units. 2 firefighters were taken to St. Francis Hospital for heat exhaustion. Another was treated at the scene for burns to their wrist. The Red Cross was there to help residents who had become displaced by the fire. If you know who committed this arson, call Crime Stoppers at 9015-28-CASH. Also new at midday, a man charged in an early morning murder in Shelby County is claiming self-defense. Warwick Tenio killed his stepdaughter's fiance. It happened around 3 yesterday morning in a home on Maiden Grass Drive in North Shelby County off of St. Elmo. In the affidavit, Tenio's stepdaughter called him because she was fighting with her fiance. Tenio told officers that he shot her stepdaughter's fiance in self-defense. He appeared in court this morning. Shelby County Clerk Wanda Halbert is blaming Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris for the backlog of license plates in the county. She says County Mayor Harris's office recently stopped sending out vehicle registrations because of a lack of funds. Halbert says there is money. In a scathing letter to commissioners yesterday, Halbert said county leaders have illegally diverted funds that were supposed to be used for vehicle registration to other departments like the General Fund and IT Department. Halbert says county commissioners knew about vehicle registration funds being diverted for years. In that letter, Halbert blasted commissioners for considering a vote of no confidence against her. She's filing a whistleblower complaint against the county commission. And now to our coronavirus coverage. COVID guidance in schools could be relaxed. Now that's if the CDC changes some of their recommendations. They're expected to update guidance plans as early as this week. The agency said that they would ease quarantine recommendations for unvaccinated people who are exposed to the virus. Instead of staying home for 5 days, they can go out with a mask and test themselves 5 days after exposure. But those with symptoms will still have to isolate from others. The agency is also planning to scale back 6 feet of social distancing recommendations and testing recommendations inside of schools. And now to the monkeypox. A 5th child has tested positive for monkeypox in the United States. With children heading back to school, doctors are urging parents to look for symptoms like fever or swollen lymph nodes. Right now, there are about 3,000 cases of the virus found in adults. Monkeypox is spread by skin-to-skin contact. That means it's not airborne like COVID. Well, the air you breathe could possibly make you sick over time if you live in South Memphis. The EPA told the city of Memphis that a sterilization plant on Florida Street is putting out hazardous fumes into the air. They use a chemical gas to clean medical equipment. Now, over time, the continuous exposure to those fumes can make people sick. Memphis Mayor Jim Strickland says that he has hired a company to test the air near the facility. Gas prices have gone down, but some of us are still feeling the pain at the pump. Some people are turning to electric cars as an alternative. Fox 13 has learned that earlier this year, electric cars might not be the best option, especially if you have a growing family. Memphis Mayor Jim Strickland says that high gas prices could have an impact on the city's budget.
Police, fire, city vehicles use a lot of gas, and I don't know if it's going to negatively impact our budget. I'm sure it will.
Gas prices reached high records because of the war between Russia and Ukraine tightening the global supply of oil. Happening today, MLGW is scheduled to continue electrical work on Germantown Road. Yesterday, they started working on the eastbound side of Germantown near Methodist Le Bonheur Hospital. That maintenance work will continue tonight from 6 until 2 in the morning. Well, are you looking for a job? Today there will be a career fair for anyone looking for some work. The Benjamin L. Hooks Library is hosting Tennessee and Me Career Fair. It's happening right now and runs until 2 o'clock. There you will have the opportunity to meet with many different employers. Veterans Mobile Health Clinic and the American Job Center's mobile health coach will also be there. Coming up on Fox 13 News Midday, the family of Breonna Taylor is now getting justice in her wrongful death. We'll break down what officers are facing charges and what they are charged with.
So I made my way to home, and on the way home I got the phone call from a doctor that said they did all they could do and that he had passed.
Plus the news no parent wants to hear: your son has died at football practice. What precautions football coaches are making to prevent more deaths from happening. And the rain has stopped for eastern Kentucky, but more is on the way for the flood-ravaged part of the state. Up next, how residents are cleaning up while bracing for more storms.
It's time to go back to school, and Fox 13's Good Morning Memphis is here to help you prepare.
We're covering the big stories that impact students, teachers, and parents.
School buses are hitting the streets, but in some neighborhoods there might not be a driver for every route.
We are down 50 bus drivers this year versus where we were last year around this time.
Fox 13 breaks down the bus driver shortage facing several districts and the recruitment plan to fill the positions.
Fox 13's Good Morning Memphis is your home for back to school. Constantly tracking upcoming severe weather and how it will impact you. Weekdays from 4:30 to 10 a.m.
With breaking coverage you can count on. Fox 13 News starts now with breaking news.
Welcome back. We are following breaking news in the Breonna Taylor case. 4 current and former LMPD officers are facing federal charges for the deadly raid on Taylor's home. Joshua James, Kelly Goodlett, and Kyle Meany, who you see on your screen, were charged with submitting a false affidavit to search Taylor's home and accused of working together to create a false cover-up story to escape responsibility. Brett Hankinson was already indicted on 2 counts of deprivation of rights under the cover of law. These are the first federal charges in the case. Hankinson faced 3 state charges for endangerment, but was acquitted on all 3. Well, it looks like the National Convention isn't coming to Tennessee. The framework for the GOP convention was shot down by the Metro City Council in Nashville. Governor Bill Lee and other Republican lawmakers wanted to bring the convention to Nashville. It had to first get security measures approved by city leaders, but the RNC is expected to vote on a new location by the end of this week. If you've had your flight canceled, you are now getting the option to have a flight credit or cash reimbursement. The summer of flight cancellations is prompting lawmakers to try and hold these airlines more accountable. A bill was filed in the Senate to force airlines to issue cash refunds instead of travel credits. That's if a flight is significantly delayed or canceled. Airlines would be fined $1,000 if they fail to provide a full cash refund within 30 days. We asked Secretary of Transportation if he was willing to impose more fines for airlines if those delays and cancellations continue.
Number of tools and authorities, and we're prepared to use them. We already acted against airlines that failed to provide refunds that they owed to consumers. We issued record fines on that. I'd rather not have it come to that, but when those issues happen, we will act.
This bill is currently in the Senate. The NFL is appealing the decision to sit Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson without pay for 6 games. The league wants a full season suspension instead. Now this comes after Watson was suspended for violating the NFL personal conduct policy. They say he was meeting with a massage therapist while he was with the Houston Texans. A former judge hired by the NFL and its players union decided on Watson's punishment. She said no other player accused of nonviolent sexual misconduct has been suspended for more than 6 games. Right now, football teams in many summer sports across the country are practicing in extreme summer heat. One high school in Brandon, Mississippi is mourning the loss of a student football player. According to the Rankin County coroner, 17-year-old Philip Laster Jr. collapsed around 4:30 p.m. Monday while members of the team were working out. Laster died at a local hospital. During the summer, coaches are required to take extreme precautions. However, people in Jackson's metro area say that they are shaken by Laster's death.
It's not a good way to start out for the school football team.
I know it's tough on everybody. Lose a young kid like that, healthy kid.
Makes us take a look at our protocols and make sure that we're doing everything we can to avoid tragedies like this.
The coroner says that it could be some time before they get the results back from the autopsy. Just days after more than 35 people died in historic flooding in Kentucky, more rain is in the forecast for the eastern part of the state. This is 1 week after historic rainfall caused the worst flooding that area has ever seen. Robert Ray has the latest from Kentucky.
We got flooded out, destroyed everything we had.
It's been a week since record levels of rain fell across Appalachia, causing massive flooding throughout the region. The hardest hit state, Kentucky, where rescue missions are starting to wind down, the death toll holding steady at 37. The main concern at this point, the devastating heat wave that's been baking much of the country for the past few days, with temperatures climbing as folks assess the damage to their homes and businesses.
It is very, very hot. Highs are ranging in the 90s. They're going to be combined with a humid air mass, and it's going to make it feel much hotter.
Making matters even worse, about 5,000 customers are still without power in eastern Kentucky.
We appreciate your work. Thank you very much.
Cooling centers are now being opened to minimize any heat-related illnesses. And as the recovery process ramps up, officials are promising state and federal resources to help these communities rebuild.
You'll see a bunch of devastations. There's houses that are torn up and that are not even on their foundations anymore.
Hundreds of people who lost their homes are still in temporary shelters. Supplies like food, water, and baby formula now pouring into the area. And folks who came out to help their neighbors say they're in it for the long haul.
There are people who have lost everything, and being able to help has it's just really helped me.
Now, we are expecting the heat wave to bring some thunderstorms to the area, but thankfully not enough to create another flash flooding situation. In Neon, Kentucky, Robert Ray, Fox Weather.
And we're tracking some rain for us, but yeah, nothing like they had over in that part of the country. Looking at rain chances on the lower end, but still noticeable, and you'll still want the rain gear nearby for today and even for tomorrow. Now, rain chances drop as we get into the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, looking at dry conditions and just hot conditions for the last couple of days of summer vacation. Wanted to point this out for Monday as kids go back to school in Shelby County. We are tracking an increased rain chance from what we had yesterday, and looks like we're going to keep that 40% coverage of rainfall for at least the first half of next week. So have the rain gear for the kids as you are getting that backpack together. Afternoon highs again today settling down in the 80s. We'll see a range of temperatures because of how the rain's setting up across half of the viewing area. Some will be in the upper 80 range, some will be in the lower 80 range, but for tomorrow back closer to average and then above it, as we just mentioned, for both Saturday and Sunday. Highs closer to the mid 90s as we track through some sunshine, again low rain chance, and just build it in the heat. The humidity will also be a story, so these mid 90s that you're seeing likely going to feel more like the triple digits, 105 possibly for some. Could see some heat advisories issued for the weekend and early next week. Here's what we have though on satellite and radar. You can see a lot of cloud cover in place. We've got rain really just right along the Mississippi River and to the west. A closer look, clearer picture here with Clearview. You can see again West Tennessee, we are mostly dry, and even North Mississippi not seeing much in the way of rainfall. A lot of the rain along 55 there in East Arkansas and points to the west. So from Wynn to Earl up through Truman, tracking light to moderate rainfall. Not seeing expecting any lightning here either. As we go throughout the next couple of hours, though, we could get a little bit more rain in West Tennessee and North Mississippi, but you can see the coverage on the lower end. Again, have the umbrella nearby, the Fox 13 weather mobile app, but I wouldn't say put off any plans if you're going to Election Day. Again, just have the umbrella with you. As we get into your Friday morning, though, tracking a few more scattered showers and even a few rumbles of thunder for Friday morning and through the afternoon on Friday. Getting into Friday night plans, looking at a spotty shower here and there, but a mostly dry sky as we head into the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, again, low rain chances. Highs will be in the 90s. It's going to be toasty. For next week, here's that rain chance I was talking about. We've got a 40% coverage Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Highs do look to drop, though, into the upper 80s and low 90s by Tuesday.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Still to come on Fox 13 News Midday, a new option on Cracker Barrel's breakfast menu is causing an uproar on social media. Up next, why the healthier food option is getting so much heat. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
There's a lot of momentum in Memphis.
With new people, businesses, and events every day, our city just keeps getting better and better.
There's opportunities to grow your career.
And to eat, drink, or just see something new.
Great things happening right here at home, and we're going to tell you about them in Memphis Momentum.
Every day on Fox 13 News.
This segment of today's broadcast is brought to you by Landers Buick GMC in South Haven.
Welcome back to Fox 13 News Midday. Trending now, R&B superstar and wife Chrissy Teigen announced that they are expecting a fourth child. The couple made an announcement on Instagram that she is pregnant with the couple's fourth child undergoing an IVF. She posted saying, quote, "The last few years have been a blur of emotions to say the least, but joy has filled our homes and our hearts again. 1 billion shots later in the leg lately, as you can see. We have another one on the way," end quote. Teigen admitted that she had fears about the pregnancy after the loss of her third child, Jack, in September of 2020. The married couple already has a 6-year-old daughter named Luna Simone and a 4-year-old named Miles Theodore. Well, if you're feeling a little healthy for breakfast, Cracker Barrel wants you to try their new meatless sausage option. They announced that they now carry Impossible sausage, which is plant-based. This will now be offered on its build-your-own menu for the breakfast. The online announcement was flooded with comments. Customers, a lot of whom do not agree that there should be a meatless option at all at Cracker Barrel. Check out some of these Facebook comments. Joe Wicker says, "Are you kidding me? Who do you think your customer base is? I still order the double meat breakfast and it's not even on the menu anymore." Junior chimed in saying that Impossible is correct. "It is impossible for me to eat that." Jerry also commented saying, "Not in a billion years am I eating this. The only thing impossible will be how to recover from this mess." Okay, so my thing is, don't eat it if you don't want to. It's an option. It's not like they're replacing all of the pork. If you don't want it, it's not for you. All right, Fox 13 meteorologist Elizabeth D'Amore has one final check of the forecast.
Well, as the kids get off the bus this afternoon, make sure you have the umbrella handy for them. We'll track scattered showers, a few storms, temperatures in the 80s, and then things get hot this weekend.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and thank you for joining us for Fox 13 News Midday. We'll see you back here tonight for Fox 13 News at 5, and be sure to tune into Fox 13 News at 9 and 10 for all of the election results. We'll see you then. Take care and have a great day.